Hello and welcome to another episode of I Teach, this time about eye health myths. Eyes seem to be a topic that the majority of the population is a little bit uncomfortable with. Because of this, eye myths start to pile up without anyone really fact-checking them. In today's video, we will walk through 7 common eye myths and try to explain why they are just that, myths. Myth number 1, wearing glasses or contacts makes you dependent on them. This is also similar to wearing glasses or contacts makes your eyes weaker. This is one of the most common things that I hear in the exam room, and it just simply isn't true. In the simplest of explanations, your eyes are tools that your brain uses to see. The information is sent from the eye to the visual processing area via your optic nerve and then further nervous system. If your eye is not carrying a clear image to the brain, then your brain has to do the work to try and decipher the information to make the vision clearer. In some cases, this can take a lot of effort or strain. Glasses or contacts work to ensure that the information provided from the eyes to the brain is as clear as possible. This limits the amount of work that the brain has to do in the visual processing area. In doing so, this makes people more comfortable and limits the symptoms of eye strain. Sometimes when people take off their glasses or contacts, there is an adjustment period where the brain has to do a little bit of extra work again. It's still capable of doing the work, it's just that there's a stark contrast between corrected and uncorrected vision. So in summary, glasses or contacts do not make your eyes worse or dependent on them. Myth number 2, using computers can damage our eyes. There seems to be a general sense that anything with an electronic screen can possibly damage our eyes. If you watched my video on blue blocking lenses, then you would know that there's no research to suggest that blue light from electronics can damage the eye, and none to suggest that blue light blockers protect the eye from any kind of damage. In the research that does show that blue light can cause damage to the eyes, the blue light source that they're using is a lot more powerful than the electronic screens that we use. Electronic screens can cause digital eye strain, and these can be pretty easily managed with either ergonomic changes to the workplace, dry eye treatment, or in some cases, glasses. So no, using electronic screens cannot physically damage our eyes, based on what the research tells us today. Myth number 3, reading in dim light is harmful to the eyes. Similar to the electronic screen explanation, dim light isn't something that can truly damage our eyes, but it can contribute to eye strain. When the light is dim, we resort to squinting and straining a lot more compared to when we have an adequate light source. In order to improve those symptoms of strain, a good light source is something that helps, and also glasses in the case of people who need those. Good lighting is especially important for people who suffer from eye diseases that affect the clarity of the vision, like macular degeneration or cataracts. So no, reading in dim light cannot physically damage our eyes, but it can contribute to some eye strain. Myth number 4, people who are colorblind only see in black and white. Although the most severe cases of color blindness, the patients do see in black and white, this is very rare, around 1 in 100,000. The majority of people with a color vision deficit do see some colors, but they have a hard time distinguishing others. For example, someone with a red-green deficiency may have a hard time determining red, yellow, or green. The rate of color deficiency in men is 1 in 12, and in women is 1 in 200. So no, the majority of people who are colorblind do not just see in grayscale or black and white. Myth number 5, eating carrots will improve your vision. Carrots are high in beta-carotene, and beta-carotene gets converted to vitamin A in the body. While there's nothing wrong with vitamin A, we actually only need a little bit for vision-related processes. Instead, the best nutrients are lutein and zeaxanthin. These are found in green leafy vegetables and other foods. Vitamin C, which is found in various fruits and vegetables. Vitamin E, found in nuts and sweet potatoes. Essential fatty acids, so like omega-3s found in fish, nuts, or seeds. And finally, zinc, found in whole grains, red meat, poultry, or beans. A lot of these nutrients are actually found in Vitalux, which is a vitamin that we prescribe to patients with a certain level of macular degeneration. So while carrots will not harm the vision, there's definitely other nutrients out there that are more important for vision-related processes. Myth number 6, contacts can roll up into the back of the eye and never to be seen from ever again. Due to the tissues that make up the anterior segment of the eye or anterior segment of the orbit, however you want to put it, this is impossible. Here, look at this picture. The contact can roll up into, I guess you could say, a crevice and be slightly more difficult to get out, but there is no rolling behind the eye that can take place. So no, contacts can't roll behind the eye and be lost forever. Myth number 7, and the last one for today. All babies are born with blue eyes. This is just factually false. Lots of babies are born with darker pigmented eyes, brown you could say. The concentration of melanin in the iris pigmented epithelium and iris stroma is what dictates whether the eyes are light brown pigment or a black pigment. There is no blue or green pigment that can be found in the iris. Instead, this is due to light scattering that takes place in the iris stroma, similar to why the sky would be blue. So while some babies are born with blue eyes, there are many that are born with darker pigmented irises as well. Okay, those are the myths covered today. 7 of them, pretty common. If there's other eye health questions that you may have or other myths that you've heard of, comment below and we will post a response for those ones. As always, thanks for listening.